The story begins with a fierce-looking demon sitting on a massive throne inside a dark castle. He looks down with a heavy expression and mutters to himself, "I am Kim Jang-cheol, an ordinary graduate school student in Korea." He sighs, eyes narrowing slightly. "At least, I used to be." His voice grows more serious as he continues. "Yesterday, I suddenly became the Demon King Credos, the final boss of the game I liked playing." He leans back in a throne, scoffing. "Well, that's a common story." He pauses for a second, then continues with a dull look. "The aim of that game, Paladin of Blood, was to revive the ancient hero who had fallen asleep." Then, with a dismissive wave of his hand, he mutters, "You know what? Never mind. Telling you something like that wouldn't even help." Still seated on the big throne, his voice lowers. "The problem now is..." But he doesn't finish. Suddenly, a door swings open. A demon steps inside the throne room, eyes locked on the man sitting at the top. "Lord Credos," he says, bowing deeply. "The preparations for war have been completed." This man is none other than Aide Zephyros, level 15. The scene shifts. Outside the castle, the air is thick with tension. Beasts and demons are gathered, roaring, howling, ready for war. Cut to one of the generals. With crazed eyes, he yells out, "Let's end our starvation with today's great invasion." This is Pride who drinks blood, level 534. Then, the cold monarch appears. Her name is Shiggy, level 531. Calm, collected, but fierce. She declares boldly, "Our tragedy of being born in a barren land. The pain of having to eat our own kind." The camera pans to another general, Archduke of Fog, Hartok, level 555. He seems like a gentleman at first glance, elegant in posture. But behind him, a voice yells savagely, "Rip the humans apart. Crush the elves." Now we see the Black Border Tyrant, Ball, level 539. His body is huge, covered in scars. He's clearly a musclehead. And behind him, another voice screams, "Turn them all into our food." Suddenly, all noise quiets. On a raised stage, the Demon King, our protagonist, Credos, appears, standing beside his servant. He surveys the entire demon army in silence. Then, with a thunderous voice, he calls out, "Demon army, listen up." In an instant, every demon falls silent. All eyes turn toward him. Credos glares down at them, his voice sharp and commanding. "I, Credos, order all of the demon folk." But in his mind, he's panicking. Must be stopped at all costs. He steals his expression, glares out at the masses, and shouts, "From now on, we..." All the generals lean in, waiting for his order, intense and focused, not even blinking. Then, to their shock, he says they'll start farming instead of launching the war. For a moment, there's only silence. All the generals stare at him blankly. Then, all at once, they erupt. "That's absurd." But as they shout, Credos looks back at them with a terrifying glare. Deep inside, though, he's thinking they are so fucking scary. I don't know if they just got intimidated by our MC's ugly face. But the thing is, our MC knew the consequence of starting a war in this game. In another place, a person seemed to be coming out of something. Then a system notification appeared and stated that the player was in his 20th playthrough. A beam of light illuminated the man. It was a level 9,990 player named Aged Kimchi, whom Credos believed would be his death, and who I suspected to be wearing a dress. So before all of this, let's dive into the life of our MC before he was transported inside the game in his life. Kim Jinshi was a graduate student in farming, dreaming of becoming a very wealthy farmer. According to him, he was a genius, so he aced his course in no time, and being the top graduate student, the professor praised him and ordered him to write a thesis for him under the pretense that it will help Yang Cho a lot. Another one wanted his help on a project. Another person ordered him to plow the fields. Yang's hole turned out to become the #1 slave. When the exhaustion caught up to him, he questioned the life he's living. He had been doing all the work. When the professors were getting all the credit, he yelled that he wants to kill all those fuckers. His dopamine was depleted, and he's going crazy, and the only way to get his dopamine boost was to play games, a game that was super difficult and very hard to level up in. No player had cleared the game for the 19th time. He wanted to feel a sense of achievement so badly that he played the game without sleeping at all. First time, the second time, until it reached the 10th time. Eventually, he became the first person to clear pallet in a blood for the 19th time. He was happy that he became the strongest in the world, but he looked so haggard. He expected that the 20th playthrough would be insanely hellish. He needs to level up first before trying it. He's going mad saying that he'll level up and he's the strongest. His character reached level 9,990 with GigaChat equipments. I would say the max level is 9,999, so he decided to stop leveling it. It took him so many years to reach that, and now he's about to start his 20th playthrough. When he clicked the button, the screen flashed brightly. He wondered what's happening. His soul was being absorbed into the screen. It entered the TV, then it shone brightly on the sky. His soul continues to travel at extreme speed. He's not moving his body, but he's panicking deep inside. He told himself to calm down and use his intelligence. So he noted that he's blue at the moment, so that means it is his soul. He assumed that he wouldn't die when he fell. Then he saw the Tower of Life, which leads him to think that he entered the game Paladin of Blood. He was surprised to see the tomb of the Paladin. He got so excited that he's going to possess his character aged Kimchi, which is almost at max level. He claimed that his life of being invincible and strong is about to start, but when he saw his character sleeping, something changed. His character is a buff blonde man wearing a magical girl costume and has a wand that is a heart with wings. Now that he had seen it, he realized that he doesn't want to turn into that. So his soul was directed sideways. He had no idea where he's going now. Then he saw the demon lord sitting on the throne. He didn't want that. At the present moment, he possessed the body of the demon lord. He uttered, "This is driving me nuts." He looked problematic as he thought that if he hadn't had that stupid thought after looking at Kimchi back there, he would have become the most overpowered character. He felt stupid. His aide walked the aisle. Zephyros heard someone say that Credos had definitely gotten weaker. He looked at the door as to where it was coming from, and he heard someone say that Credos got scared and stopped their attack. It was the generals. Asurat suggested they join hands and cut off Credos' head. Then they will share the authority of the throne. He reasoned that Credos became the king by taking the head of the previous demon lord. He entertained the idea that Credos might not have gotten weaker. If that's the case, 2 out of 4 of them will either suffer fatal injuries or die. Serge told Asat that if he offered to be their shield, they could give it a try. Asat, feeling annoyed, threatened her that she could die in his hands first. Meanwhile, Bale had no opinion. He just feels hungry. A CO challenged them on what they would do if there was evidence that the demon lord had gotten weaker. 3 of them replied that if that's the case, they will kill him. Again, Ball didn't care. He's just hungry. Zephyros was outside the door. He reported to Credos that the morale of their army has completely plummeted. He elaborated that there have been more cases of people attacking and devouring each other internally, and some also left the land of the demons without notice. Credos listens silently as the butler continues. The 4 great demon generals are enraged. They say that you have gotten weaker and are planning to work together to cut your head off. Hearing that, a chill runs through Credos. His body trembles slightly, heat building from within as he thinks, if the 4 of them attack me together, I'll definitely die. If I appear weak, But then he glances to the side, and a thought strikes him. Wait, what about aged Kimchi? Since I didn't possess it, is it just a corpse? Then just charging into the human world would be better. The butler then holds out a red orb and informs him. And this is a video of the tomb of the paladin that was sent by General Ogmia. Credos looks into the orb, and what he sees turns his stomach. The hero is shown, blood splattered all over, ruthlessly slaying demons. One demon cries out, "Please stop." Another screams, "Help me." And another shouts, "Wait, what are you trying to do?" "No, stop it." Then from the red orb, a high-pitched scream pierces the air. Kaya, my eyes, my eyes. The hero's face is blank cold, drenched in crimson. Credos clutches his head, sweat dripping down his face, his body trembling as he thinks, "Fuck, that won't work. That looked like some kind of play by a crazy person. I don't want to meet that guy. I must stay in this place no matter what." Sitting on his throne, he sinks deeper into thought. At this rate, I'll either appear weak or choose to surrender, and the 4 great demon generals will kill me. And if I charge into the human world, aged Kimchi will gouge my eyes out and kill me. Credos wanted to cry as he complained about being transported to that world. He claimed that he couldn't even find happiness. There was only one way out of this mess. He had to resolve the issue of food and somehow get the demons to calm down. Zephyros asked him where he was going. Credos first uttered, "Pardon," then replied that he was going to look at some lands for farming. Zephyros looked disappointed. Hearing that pardon, Credos noticed his expression and asked, "What's wrong?" Zephyros explained, "Credos, you're narcissistic and arrogant and have zero manners. So for you to say pardon was gross and horrifying. Don't do that." Deep inside, Credos wondered what was with Pharos. Maybe he was trying to provoke him? He wasn't sure if Zephyros was just playing some kind of weird character. Zephyros had only appeared once before the battle with the Demon King, without any explanation. But that actually made him a popular character back then. His only line was, "Oh, great paladin, the Demon Lord no longer wishes to fight. Please go back." Then aged Kimchi attacked him. Zephyros' next line was asking for the Demon Lord's forgiveness for being too weak to protect him, which was why players thought he was either extremely loyal to the Demon Lord or really respected him. Now, Zephyros looked straight at Credos and said, "Your blunder this time was unprecedented. I've never met a Demon Lord who lost that much trust from the demons." Credos found Zephyros really fucking annoying. Zephyros then pulled out his notepad and stated, "You want to farm in the land of demons? I didn't know your memory was only as good as pigeons." Credos reminded Zephyros that he is the Demon Lord and he better not push it. But Zephyros kept going. Credos wondered why he wasn't getting scared. Zephyros told him that even former Demon Lords and Credos himself had already tried farming in that land. With its harsh and extreme temperature differences, he should know that nothing will grow there. Credos admitted he knows it's the land of death, but said he's confident that with his current abilities, it is possible to save the land. Deep inside, though, Credos really hates farming, but he needed to survive. Zephyros was confused when he saw Credos digging in the ground. It was so ridiculous that Credos ended up eating the dirt. Zephyros commented, "The Demon Lord is strange. He turns into a beggar who eats dirt." He jotted that down. Credos told him, "Stop writing." Zephyros replied, "I'm just performing my duties." Recording the Demon Lord's chronicles is important. He also noted that the Demon Lord's ability to remember things had definitely deteriorated. Credos saw him as a pain in the ass. Credos had determined that the ground had zero nutrients. No nitrogen either. Nitrogen is an element absolutely necessary for the growth of plants. But plants can't make use of the nitrogen in the air by themselves, even though it makes up 78% of the atmosphere. The atoms form solid triple bonds, making it nearly impossible for them to undergo chemical reactions. So humanity developed nitrogen fixation through chemical engineering, which led to a massive increase in food production. But for Credos, doing that was impossible. There was nothing in that land to use as the foundation for farming. Credos thought of using the nitrogen fixation mechanism in nature, lightning. Using its high voltage, nitrogen gets oxidized into nitrite. It then mixes with rainwater and gets absorbed into the soil. And the main technique of Demon Lord Credos is Credos scratched his hand and it bled. This was for his technique called Bloody Strike. It explodes both lightning and moisture at the same time. It's a technique made for creating fertile soil. Credos told Zephyros to stand back. He scratched his hand. It hurt like hell. He couldn't believe that the lunatic Demon Lord uses it every time when it fucking hurts so much. But then he noticed something. The four generals were watching him. They were obviously thinking he had gotten weak. Credos was surprised. Zephyros stated, "You've gotten 100% weaker." That made Credos think that Zephyros was an assassin whose plan was to provoke him and then kill him. But honestly, he thought that might still be better than dying to those four generals. He scratched his hand, and the blood was used for a bloody strike. But after making the move, nothing happened. He just bled. He couldn't even hide the pain this time. Then someone approached. No, not just someone. It was the four generals. They asked if he was unwell. These guys didn't even bother exuding their murderous aura. All Credos could say was shit. Meanwhile, aged Kimchi was looking out over the vast land. Faint memories of his previous lives surfaced. He had lived more than 10 times. He had always moved forward because of a call, some kind of summon of duty that had led him. But now it was gone. The summon no longer said anything. He stood there questioning what he lived for now. He felt heavy. His expression looked grim. Back to our Demon Lord. They were watching him like predators sizing up prey. A surrogate reminded him of the rule of demons. The strongest is the Demon Lord. Deep inside, Credos found them terrifying. He knew how strong each of them was. Hell, he couldn't even use a skill right now. Was he going to die? His body trembled. His expression turned fierce. Asat, watching closely, felt the immense pressure coming off Credos. The fight hadn't even started yet, but it looked like Credos was gathering strength, trembling from the sheer force of it. Assat stayed confident. He asked Credos if he could beat them in that state, but then he looked behind him. The other generals had already hidden behind a tree. Asuo was dumbfounded. It didn't even take a minute for these bastards to betray him. Their plan was obvious: watch how the fight goes, and only jump in if they had a chance. Asura was sweating like crazy. In his head, he called them evil bastards. But then again, they are demons. Meanwhile, Zephyros suddenly announced, based on the long-time tradition of demons, all fights are to the death. There's no giving up. He was just about to signal the start when Azra interrupted. Wait. Credos couldn't believe how fast Zephyros set everything up. AAT kept repeating to himself not to get scared, that he could win. The Demon Lord was weak now, after all. Credos, meanwhile, was panicking inside. What the hell was he supposed to do? Not long ago, he had tested his strength. Sure, he's a Demon Lord. He should be very strong. But honestly, he wasn't that strong. Strong, yes, but nothing worth bragging about. Assat charged at him. Credos had seen that move in the game before. It was either a thrust or a slash. He was certain he couldn't dodge it. His body moved sideways. He was surprised, confused. How'd he dodge that? Then he noticed something. Assat's left foot was pointing outward. He could predict it. Assat would use a thrust. He realized it. It was exactly the same motion as in the game. Assat clicked his tongue as Credos evaded. Hark leaned towards Surge and asked if she saw Credos' reaction when he dodged the attack. He thought it looked like Credos was about to counter and rip Assat's arm off. Surge asked, then why didn't he? She suggested waiting and observing more. Assat attacked again. Credos evaded again. Credos was still confused. Assat's movements were exactly the same as in the game. He remembered the first time they met. He was absolutely overwhelmed. Assat was fast, threw an offbeat feints, had a wide range of attacks. Credos had died to him once, then thrice, then 10 times. But finally, on his 128th try, he defeated him for the first time. In the next 19 playthroughs, he completely humiliated Assat. He even had a no-hit run. Assat lunged again. It was useless. Credos was now fully confident. There was no way Assat's attacks could hit him anymore. The other generals saw that confident expression on his face, and they all shivered. Assat kept attacking him, but Credos evaded it swiftly. The generals noticed that Credos was having fun, that he is laughing at Assat for being weak while he enjoys himself. Oak got pissed while Credos was relieved. Even if he can evade, he knows that he can't defeat him. But he realized something important. The world he's in shares the same rules as the game. The system notified him that he had realized the basic rule of the world. When he saw the screen, he thought that it's the messenger that he frequently sees in webtoons. The screen showed that he also succeeded at dodging his enemies' attacks with high concentration as a reward. A part of the game system that is used by playable characters has been unlocked. Targeting function has been unlocked. Credos watched it. There's a crosshair on Sarah's head. He realized that it's the targeting that's used when using special skills. He knew what it meant. He scratched his hand again and used Bloody Strike. It created an orb that released lightning and hit Assat. The other generals were surprised. The demons who watched them on the screen cheered for Credos. All of Assat's clothes were roasted, and now he sat on his knees. He coughed from the dust. Credos was surprised that Assat is still alive after being hit by Bloody Strike, which causes instant death in the game. He was alarmed since he knew Assat was recovering, so he'll recover his energy in no time. He strikes Assat with lightning. He had done it over and over again to the point that the other generals trembled in fear. They feared him since he's attacking Assat to the extent that Assat won't die while causing him pain. While in reality, Credos was lost on what to do since Assat won't die. The system informed Credos that he had torn off all Assat's clothes and he is now naked. Credos was confused with the random message. It relayed like he was some kind of pervert. He was informed that a new system has been unlocked. Inventory's armor removal has been unlocked. It made him wonder if there are some kinds of good armor in there. He checked and found out that there's only one, and it's what he's wearing. He didn't see anything that could be used at that moment. He decided to get rid of Assat first. Though he's not strong, he can't kill him. Assat's recovery ability is great, so Credos expects that he'll definitely get up after some time. Then he thought of something. Since Assat isn't dead yet, he can still target him and also keep firing bloody strikes. And with that, he can infuse the ground with tons of nitrogen. He called himself the smartest. He checked the other 3 generals and expected them to be scared of him, but he wanted to test it out. He called out Shji and ordered her to tie Assat tightly. Sji interpreted that as he wanted her to tie up a naked man tightly to humiliate her and Asat at the same time. Asat had been tied to a cross. This is step 1, preparation of a lightning rod. Asat was still unconscious when he was mounted up. A few minutes later, he woke up and claimed that he had completely recovered. He told Credos that he had gotten weaker since he couldn't kill him with Bloody Strike. He decided to chop off Credos' head. Step 2 is to use Bloody Strike. With that, he can oxidize the nitrogen in the air into nitrite. Credos ordered Hartok to cover the whole area with fog. It has to be so thick that water will be flowing. Hartok thought that Credos intended to make the whole place wet so he could make his lightning more painful. He was impressed with the creative way of torture. He claimed that he just learned something new. He made a fog that was step 3 to spread the fog, and step 4 was to strike and repeat. He kept doing the Bloody Strike that even he is hurting. Zephyros watched with a nonchalant face while the generals felt overwhelmed. Asurit was hit over and over again. Credos was pleased because that way he can make the land good ground with nitrogen. He thought that he'll have a bountiful harvest. Just that made him so excited. He strikes again and repeated that until dusk. Eventually our MC checked the soil. He was pleased. Now, he just needs to keep infusing nitrogen using that method. His next goal is improving the soil. The loose monovalent structured soil neither allows oxygen to enter nor drains water well for farming. Crumbly, granular, structured soil is ideal, which is why the thing that he had to create is manure. He ordered everyone to do something important. All of you give me shit. The generals were dumbfounded. They couldn't believe that. After making an example out of Asat and grilling him, they thought that he wanted them to smear Asat with shit. They all thought of him as unbelievably cruel. It was a bright, sunny day. Aged Kimchi walked through the forest. He heard someone asking for help. He started walking towards the bushes. He checked it, and behind the bushes he saw 2 men. They claimed that they got attacked by a group of goblins and they needed help. They were willing to compensate for all that. And if you guys are familiar with these 2, you are truly Giga Chads. Aged Kimchi had a grim expression on his face, which made the 2 men scared. Aged Kimchi told them that he's not suspicious, but those men judged him to be horrifyingly suspicious. He asked them if their legs were hurt. He carried the noble on his shoulder like a sack of rice. Then he told the other man to lead the way. The man that he was carrying commented that he's so strong. Then this man introduced himself as Vajrahan, and the one behind them is called Dial Frontera. The names of these characters were reversed as reference to Lloyd and Javier. The Giga Chad duo, Ray Vaj, asked who he was. Aged Kimchi replied that it's what he needs to find out at the castle. The 3 generals look like they're in trouble. Hardtalk asks how they're supposed to just bring poop. He asked if they should make them on the spot or something. Serge yelled that it was crazy, gross, and disgusting. She's freaking out. B expressed that it's been a while since he last ate, so he cannot poop. He knew that Serge can't poop either. Serge told him to stop talking about her poop. Hardtalk expressed that even if they can poop, he doesn't want to supply Credos. With this, he suggested to beat up the low-ranking demons and make them start pooping moments later. At a demon village, someone begged them not to do it. The poor demon whined that if all of them are watching, then he can't poop. He begged them to wait outside. The soldier replied that the others said the same thing, but they still couldn't poop. Hardtalk asked what's taking them so long. Hardtalk confirmed with the guy if he can't provide them, no matter how hard he tries. The demon expressed that he hasn't eaten in a while. Hardtalk choked him. He released his powers and thanked the demon for a great idea. Hark attacked the guy. The guy screamed in pain, but then it was stopped. As Ball grabbed Hardtalk's hand, Hark asked what it was. Ball told him that if he pierced the stomach, the demon would die. It means no poop. He added that those demons need to poop more so they can collect. Ak dropped the guy and replied to Bale that it was a smart statement considering it came from him. He threatened Bale that maybe if he feeds them Bale's meat, they'll start defecating. Ball was ready to fight back. The demon got scared with the tension building up. Hardtalk and BA started the fight. They were about to clash, but it was interrupted. When someone yelled and asked what they were doing, it was Credos with his bloody strike. Those 2 fell on the ground. He yelled at them that humans aren't the only animals that can defecate. He's annoyed. He then told them that there's no use for feces that have no nutritional value. He told them that they need to look for feces that can be used for manure. Zephyros asked what manure is. Credos explained that it is an ingredient that provides the field with nutrients. Normally, manure is made with wooden ashes, weeds, soil eggshells, and chicken feces for wooden ashes and weeds. They could just use those empty houses they saw before. The problem was the eggshells and chicken feces. Then he remembered something. He ordered Zephyros to bring him the map of their land. He laid it out on the table, just as he expected. The map is exactly the one he saw from the game, which means that he should be able to find them there. Once he got to the place, he's pertaining to the habitat of the demon seagulls in the game. There are plenty of them all over the field. It indicates that seagulls can ingest a great deal of nutrients from a human's land, and then they poop and lay eggs there. Credos thought it's the perfect place. Zephyros asked the demon lord if he's intending to collect the feces of the demon seagulls. Credos replied that Zephyros is quick to catch on. Zephyros informed Credos that the place is called the cliff from which one cannot return. There are no stable holds, and if he falls, he will get caught up in the rough waves. Credos replied that he knows that much, but it was because that place isn't systematically available for players to reach, but he's certain that he can climb it. They arrived at the place. The waves are rough and tall. Pillars surround the area. The generals had no idea what this demon lord was thinking. Many have already challenged to hunt those seagulls from old times, but they all ended up falling prey to the waves. Credos told them that he will climb to the top and throw down the bag that will contain feces and eggshells. He told the generals to be sure to catch it, and if the plan succeeds, everyone will be fed. While Ball was quiet, he recalled the demon that Hartok choked and the others on the streets that are malnourished. The waves were tall. Credos recalled his 13th playthrough. He tried everything to get up there. He tried hundreds of times, dying over and over again in the process. He left the generals along with Zephyros, watched him. Credos is confident because he succeeded before he jumped, grabbed onto the rock. Turns out he had done it before. By abusing a glitch, he held on tightly that it created a dent on the cliff. The generals and Zephyros were surprised. Credos simultaneously opened his inventory, and he unequipped all his clothing. The generals and Zephyros were flabbergasted. They could only see parts of Credos, his body like the hair, biceps, and butt. They trembled as they held their laughter. It was really an unexpected scene. Credo pushed himself out of the rock since he needed to roll his body. Serge blushed and looked away, but then Credos equipped all his clothing. Now he's facing them, but some parts of him were hidden beneath the rock, like his neck. Serge's head was turned away from him, but her eyes glanced at him. We now know she's curious about the demon lord's pee-pee. Then Credos rolled his body and unequipped all again. His butt is showing again. Then he rolled and equipped his clothing, then rolled and unequipped again, which showed his butt. He repeated rolling and equipping his clothing until he is almost at the summit. It's funny how his butt sticks out until he is done. He stood at the cliff confidently with his clothes on. A world where the game system is shared, an equipment inventory, and the edge of the map that supposedly can never be reached. Credos put all those facts together. He experimented and was convinced that it was possible. Ball decided to help the demon lord, since the demon lord said that he will feed them. Zephyros was alarmed. He tried to stop him, but Ball was already running towards it. Zephyros yelling got the attention of Credos. Ball jumped with the intention to follow his majesty. Credos got angry at him for what he's doing. Ball couldn't grab onto the rocks, so he was falling. Fortunately, Credos caught him. Credos is naked only. His upper body is sticking out from the boulder, and he hangs on a Ball. He needed to trigger the glitch. The veins on his arm popped out. Since Ball was too heavy, it felt like his arm was going to be ripped off. He wondered why he's saving the guy when Ball is one of the 4 generals who is a threat to him. He thought that it would be better if the guy was gone. He told Ball that he had no reason to save him. Credos watches him and recalled a memory where his friend asked for help. That friend was crying because the professor is not letting him submit his essay so that the professor can use him as his work slave forever. His friend begged him to tell the professor. That way the professor can at least take a look at his essay. His friend claimed that the professor loves Jiang Qi since he's the best. So this friend thought that the professor would listen if it was Jiang Qi. That guy was a junior who followed him around since he was the #1 slave. He thought that the professor might listen, but he was scared that he might fall out of favor, that he might put himself in a disadvantageous situation. So he told his friend that it's not his business, and he walked away, but he thought that he might have been able to help that guy. The same situation with Ball. Now Ball grabbed onto him. He thought that back then, if he had just tried a little more, if he just squeezed everything he had a bit more, that if he tried his best to his absolute limits, the face in his memory might have been smiling instead. Credos yelled loudly. He hung on to Ball as much as he could. His bones even started making a crunching sound. He gathered all his strength to lift him up, and he threw him on the top. Ball collided with the ground. Credos cradled his broken arm. Ball stated that His Majesty saved Ball at the cost of him getting hurt when he had no reason to do that. Ball asked why. Credos was silent for a moment. Then he replied that it's because that choice hurts less than abandoning his followers, and ended up regretting it. Upon hearing that, Ball trembled. Tears pooled in his eyes. In Credos' head, it is what he should have done for his junior. He felt sorry. Not helping those in need really haunted him, even when he's in another world already. With that, a notification window appeared. It stated that even in a state where Credos had not fully adapted to the body of the Demon King K, Credos, he poured all his strength. As a result, he had earned the sincere gratitude of Ball, one of the 4 generals. He realized how grateful Ball is. In honor of his achievement, a system is established where providing the army with a sense of abundant happiness earns him a great amount of points. He thought about the great amount. The system informed him that the happy point or HP accumulation system is open. Credos wondered what a happy point is, but eventually he figured it out. He thought it was something that could get him a discount for an ice cream. The system got mad on this dumb fuck, saying what kind of game world would sell ice cream? Our boy got scared upon reading the system's reply, as it is able to converse with him. It was then explained that for each soldier in the demon army that feels happy from a full stomach, Credos will gain 1 happy point, and these points can be used to purchase stats. Right now, Credos could only access about 20% of the demon lord's strength. That explains why he's weak compared to his subordinates. The system encouraged him to increase all 5 stats and attain 100% of demon lord strength. Our boy then tried using this feature. He wanted to add 10% to his stamina stat. A prompt then appeared and said that in order to purchase stamina plus 10%, he would need 50 happy points. For him, it's quite expensive. The system also revealed that he can purchase skill enhancements too, just like the skill that he has right now. Blood Strike, it's only at level 1 and would need 250 happy points to level up. Credos knew he would need a lot of points, but if he could successfully farm, then he could gather quite a lot of HP, and with that, he'll become super strong and increase his rate of survival. Aside from this, he also received something, and it was to be thanked by someone. With his devilish smile showing, he thought it really felt pretty good. But from Bale's perspective, he thought that the Demon Lord's face tells him that he'll rip him apart immediately if he doesn't listen to what he says, since he owes Credos his life now. To him, Credos is really a mean Demon Lord. He didn't save him out of good faith. After that, our Demon Lord raised a giant eggshell and called the attention of everyone. He shouted, "I'll put shit into this eggshell and throw it. Make sure you catch it." Of course, these 3 were dumbfounded. They didn't even know how to react. The attack of the Demon Lord then started. He really threw the eggshell full of shit, and since these 3 were still frozen in shock, they were not able to dodge anything. It's raining poop. They thought that they couldn't take this anymore. Meanwhile, Credos thought that they're just starting. He wanted them to give their all in farming. The first step to making manure, seagull shit, eggshells, burnt tree ashes, and preparing the farm soil. Next is to grind it all together and mix it well. Credos then called for Surge and commanded her to crush and grind all of that. Surge couldn't believe that the Demon Lord wanted her to do it, but since she has a lot of arms, this task is perfect for her. That also pushed Surge to get mad and shout that she, the Coal Monarch, is worth more than that. She equipped herself with her weapons and told the Demon Lord that her arms aren't meant for doing things like mixing shit. Then she was met with the intense gaze of Credos and told her that he will give her an easier task. Then he pointed towards Assad, who's still emitting smoke from the lightning that hit his body. Over there, you just need to stay still. Easy. Right from then on, the cold monarch was turned into a mixer of shit. Legend says she's still doing that until now. Deep inside, Credos nearly peed himself. He thought that these guys are all hot-tempered, so he mustn't let his guard down. But then he remembered that he is the Demon Lord, and he'll push on with guts and force. After that, it's time for the second step of making manure. It is to add water. He called for Hardtalk and commanded him to fill the air with fog. But Hardtalk questioned this move, as the stench will become even harder to bear because of the moisture. He wouldn't want to do something like that. And then the secret weapon was revealed. Again, Credos pointed to a turret. No one wanted to become a lightning rod. So he hurriedly flew around the area and spread moisture into the air. Credos then asked Ball if the moisture was enough. Ball answered that it's soft after being soaked with water. It's just as the Demon Lord said it'd be. Finally, the third step is to place the manure in a dry place and cover it with a blanket made of seagull feathers. But there's a problem. Our MC knew that even just making a bit would take a very long time in order to make enough manure to cover this vast piece of land. He knew he had no choice but to mobilize all the demons. His face turned serious, as there's something that bothers him. Since it has to be done now, K. Credos will push ahead with the authority of the Demon Lord. Later that night, somewhere in the Demon Kingdom, a wooden house was shown. 2 demons were inside, and one of them was lying on a bed. The one lying was a girl demon named Flute. She called for her dad, and her dad asked, "What's the matter?" With tears in her eyes, she suggested to her dad that he should just eat her. Her dad got mad about this idea. He reminded her not to say something like that ever again. But the kid replied that she misses her mom already, and that statement is just too much for a parent to hear. It was then shown that a huge demonic creature was about to eat a little girl. It was Flute, and she screamed for someone to help her. The mouth of the creature was about to devour her, but then someone appeared in front of her and shielded Flute. Flute stared at this demon. It was none other than her mother. Flute didn't even have the chance to stop her mom from doing that, as she had already been devoured instantly. Back to the present time, her father was saying something to her. "If you aren't here, what reason would I have to live on for?" They were then interrupted when they heard a sound outside. It was K. Credos and his lackeys. Flute's dad was shocked to see the Demon Lord and was not able to control his voice. And hearing that, K. Credos thought that this demon still had the strength to shout. So he ordered his lackeys to take him. Flute's father protested, as no one would be able to take care of his daughter if she was left alone. Higher-ranked demons would eat her up. Flute cried for her father to be freed, but the Demon Lord didn't even flinch. Credos then asked Zephyros how many they have so far, and Zephyros answered. They now have 20 demons and would still need 30 more. Before exiting the house, our MC looked at Flute again. She's still crying. She thought she'll lose another parent again. Inside the game, Flute was featured as this girl demon who had gone berserk, and our MC was fast-clicking his controller to deal with her. His character performed a quick slash towards Flute. Flute had the same expression when she was killed inside the game. It made Credos emotional for a bit. Since he's the Demon Lord, it should be business as usual. But before leaving the place, he ordered the Demon Kin to stop all illegal acts of eating their own kind. He also ordered Zephyros to gather the remaining demons and make everyone work on making the manure. Now, I'm the Demon Lord. Tyranny of this level is all right in order to achieve my goal. Our MC finally embraced his role as a leader, and with it is bearing some sacrifices. A few days after that, we see that the demons who were gathered have already started their work in the fields. They used their weapons to plow the manure. Flute's father questioned this kind of labor, as they had been wasting their strength for a few days now. He commented that farming sounds so ridiculous. We then found out that his name is Deer Rock. His comrade warned him not to make comments like that, or he'll lose his head. But Deer Rock was firm, as he knew that they're just going to die anyway, even if this land became fertile. He knew that they had no plan to farm here. After saying that, Credos appeared and said, "Are you curious about what we'll plant?" Deer Rock knows he's now in trouble. The demon lord asked Dear Rock to follow him. Little did Dear Rock know, the demon lord had already found a solution. A few days before that, on the day that he was confronted by his commanders, there was a purple flower that caught his attention. He knew that's something that can be planted, and with that, he led Dear Rock in front of the flower. Credo then stated that they will plant this flower's roots. Ball and some of the farming squad have already dug it up from various places. Dear Rock asked for forgiveness, as he answered that this flower's roots can't be eaten because it inflicts extreme abdominal pain and could kill them. The demon lord then pulled the flower and told him that this is all they got. The experiment to test if this can be eaten or not should be concluded about now. Dear Rock was caught off guard about the said experiment. Our MC then revealed it. Your daughter should be eating this. Hearing this, Dear Rock nearly lost his composure. It was like his world was shattered. He quickly ran to his daughter and yelled, "No." Dear Rock questioned the demon lord why they're doing something like this to his innocent daughter. He wished for his daughter not to eat the roots. Dear Rock slammed the door and called for Flute. He tried stopping her. He stopped in his tracks when he saw something. Flute has now gained her weight, and she was happily eating the roots. She mentioned that she doesn't even feel pain eating the food. Dear Rock trembled while asking her if she was really all right. And Flute answered yes. She revealed that Zephyros and Ball also fed her yesterday, and she didn't feel anything bad. Credos then appeared and asked Dear Rock if he believes in him now. A long time ago, humans of a certain land also made that poisonous plant edible. Somehow, they successfully cultivated it and were able to resolve their hunger issues. With a creepy smile on our MC's face, he revealed that the plant is now known as potato. Flute called Credos' attention and thanked him for showing kindness to a lowly demon like her. With that, the system appeared and informed Credos that a part of his demon army feels happy from eating. He finally received his first happy point. Number of points added is now +1. Here's the total number of our MC's HP. Credos didn't expect the system prompt. He looked at Flute and saw her heartfelt smile, and then he remembered a memory. It was Flute's expression when he was still playing the game. An innocent demon who was forced to do the worst things just to survive. And that's exactly opposite from what he's seeing now. Credos had this faint smile as he thought that as a demon lord, he didn't really need to always look serious. This dude finally smiled, but he's ugly as fuck. A brat like you, I just has to eat your fill and grow up tall. Once again, our MC, Credos, was misunderstood. His lackeys thought he was just trying to fatten up the girl so he could eat her bile, thinking he's some evil demon lord. In reality, this was the expression that Credos wanted them to see. But boy, it was far from the truth. So here we are, in the deepest part of the demon lord's vast territory, known as the Ainur. This place is located in the deepest of 5 regions, and it's a damn hellscape. Freezing cold at night, burning hot during the day. Basically, it's like the Andean highlands. Back in the day, people there didn't have food and ended up eating poisonous wild potatoes that, you guessed it, killed them. Humans, though, have this wild talent for turning poisonous food into something edible. And that's what JCHO, now known as Credos, the demon lord, is using. He's gonna make it work. Enter Rock, telling Credos that the roots have been laid in the field. And what does our demon lord do? He commands Ball to crush those roots. Ball leaps into the air, lands with monstrous force, and crushes the roots like they were nothing. No way these guys were going to survive that stomp. Bale's weight alone would crush them into dust. Credos planned to freeze the potatoes for 5 nights, then hit them with Bale's meteor stomp during the day, freezing them, melting them, stomping them, then evaporating the poison, basically a whole process of freeze, melt, stomp, repeat until they're dry and edible. Once that's done, they become what they call chino, wild potatoes that are now safe to eat. Switching gears, Credos orders Zephyros to gather the farming squad, who've been working on manure. He smirks devilishly. Time for snacks, he says. The demons line up, eagerly awaiting the food. Credos tells them they'll only get 2 potatoes each since there's not much. But Zephyros notices there's still plenty left and asks if they can't just make more. Credos, with a knowing look, says they don't have enough. He plans to take a portion of the potatoes and plant them again, growing them 1,000-fold. No waste. A few minutes later, the potatoes are handed out, but the farming squad is hesitant. Some of their families had died from these poisonous spuds. Then D-Rock steps up, telling the squad that the demon lord has made them safe to eat now. One of the demons with a weird haircut, D-Rock, thinks the demon lord's got some devious plans. He believes Credos just wants them to eat and die. But D-Rock, unfazed, he shoves the potato into his mouth. He chews, swallows, and bam, shouts, "Long live the demon lord." The other demons, now seeing him alive, quickly start eating, one after the other. The farming squad then lines up in front of Credos, all chanting, "Yes, Credos! Yes, Credos!" Credos, however, is not impressed with the chant. He mentally notes, "I'll change this crap later." Meanwhile, Zephyros looks at Credos, thinking that the demon lord seems so sure he can bring an end to hunger in this barren land. Zephyros is starting to believe maybe, just maybe, Credos can change things for the demons. Just then, the system pops up again, letting Credos know that a part of his demon army is happy after eating. He gains 50 HP, thanks to 50 farming squad members eating. Total HP now, 51. Credos smiles, pleased. It's a decent number of points. He could feel stronger now, but still, no clue what to upgrade. He'll just collect more points for now. The plan is to split the manpower between the manure squad and the potato gathering squad. And Zephyros has an idea. He wants to announce to the whole village that edible food can now be grown on this land. To sweeten the deal, demons who dig up the wild potatoes will get food vouchers, which can be exchanged for chinos. The farming squad celebrates. Credos watches Zephyros with an amused smirk, thinking, this demon is smarter than he looks. Annoying, but useful. The demons get to work, digging up all the potatoes. Meanwhile, Surge and Hartok are still busy with their new jobs, mixing manure and creating artificial rain. And of course, Asat is still tied up, ready for some old-school punishment. Credos finally finds the perfect spot for him to be hanged. And just when you think it's over, Credos begins raining down lightning because, well, why not? RMC really worked hard producing nitrogen. He thought that since they have enough manure, now it's time to move on to the next step. They now need to spread the manure evenly across the land. But it's just too vast. That's way too much land for the farming squad who are surviving only on a few balls of chinos to cover a surret, then called the demon lord's attention, asking to just kill him already. But our boy just zapped this shit again. In his mind, Credos would not kill someone who could function while starving. Thanks to his rat's regeneration, skill-free nitrogen, baby Credos is still thinking on a solution for their expansion. He wondered if he really had no choice but to wait for reinforcements earlier. He had already commanded Zephyros to request troops from the Star Masters. Zephyros wrote, "We order you to stop attacking and provide as many troops as possible for farming." While they sent this letter to all of the Star area, no one replied yet. Credos found this strange and wondered if the messenger had already collapsed from hunger before even delivering the mail. It would really be a problem if they can't expand the farmland immediately. Meanwhile, at the demon's land first star area is called Cliff of the Dead. A servant kneeled to his master and informed him that according to the scouts, Demon Lord Credos had really started farming. It seems they've already created edible food. The master in this area sighed and commented that Credos was just doing all of this because he's afraid of him. It was because this guy becomes stronger when more demons die. He added that Credos stopped the war and is reducing the number of demons dying of starvation to keep him in check. This old man who looked like Zeus is the master of the first star, Sorrowful. He's also known as the Father of the Dead. It was also revealed that this servant has taken care of the messengers that were sent to the other star areas. In short, no one got informed except them. Sothole was firm on demons. Must all die of starvation. Only then will they become his food and to his army. He declared that he will kill Credos and become the Demon Lord. Sothole ordered his aide, which is named Fikami, an important task. "I want you to destroy everything related to farming that Credos has done," said Sothole with a serious tone. This is a declaration of war, and Fika got excited about it. Back to lightning rod number 1. He trembled as a cold breeze of wind passed through Fika, then revealed himself. He commented that Credos is really vicious for turning a sot into a living corpse to make an example to others. This one then told a sot not to worry, as his Lord Soriel likes his aggressiveness, and he'll take him in after killing Credos. Fer then called the attention of his personal squad, which consisted of wraiths. He then shouted, "Destroy this wasteland till it can never be used again." These wraiths didn't waste a second, as they were elated on wreaking havoc. One of the wraiths noticed the manure that was lying on the ground, and Fer, being the dumb fuck he is, ordered them to throw the manure all over the land while laughing to his heart's content. He added that they might regather them to reuse, so they need to make sure to scatter them evenly everywhere. The wraiths even mixed it into the ground to the point not even a single manure can be seen. Fer continued his devilish laugh while Assad just stared at his foolishness blankly. All he could do was sigh. He remembered when K. Credos mentioned specifically that they need the manure to be grinded, finely, and mixed into the ground. And right now that same problem is being solved by FME, which still has no idea what was really happening in Assad's head. He wondered, what in the world are they trying to achieve here? The next day, just when the sun was about to rise, we see one RTH commenting that there's no end to this task, but his fellow wraiths were still working their ass off on mixing the manure. He was even yelled at and told to stop lazing around. They thought that if there are any bits left unturned, the demon King Credos will make it a farmland. The lazy wraith then asked number 2, 718 Wraith on why he's working especially hard today, when in fact this one always laid around number 2, 718. Admitted that, but for some reason, today was different. He looked at the tilled farmland and told them that when he looked at all the work they had done, he felt proud, like he had done something productive that made the lazy wraith speechless. He clicked his tongue and told number 2, 718 what an idiot. Then suddenly he started tilling the soil again, as he wanted to be an idiot today too. I never thought wraith could be inspired by their fellow wraiths. They worked so hard that they didn't notice the sun was now rising. And since they lost their sense of time working hard, they had no time to hide. They all just died, thinking that they have really been productive. It made them smile while meeting their end. All of the wraiths working in the vast land were now gone. The only one left was Fika, who was crying as he felt proud of them. He wished for all the wraiths to rest somewhere peacefully. Now, Fem now wonders how Credo will react after seeing their work. Meanwhile, inside the storage barn for the potatoes, Credos can be heard saying that tilling the field took longer than he expected. He's now staring at thousands of potatoes that are in a dormant state. He continued explaining to Zephyros that when in dormant state, potatoes won't grow sprouts. There's no use even if they plant them. It's as if a potato was peacefully sleeping on the earth, and someone just yanked it out by the hair. The potatoes then pass out from the shock. Their biological rhythm paused. Credos was in deep thought, thinking that their dormancy will end quicker if he leaves them for about 2 to 3 weeks in 4 degrees Celsius, then suddenly move them someplace warmer and dark. He wanted Sergei to imbue them with her cold energy. She's really angry right now. Hartok was also out of the equation as well. Credos won't be able to avoid those two attacking him together, so he better think of another way. The Demon Lord had also tried making the farming squad exercise in front of the potatoes to raise temperature, but they all got tired soon, so that's also a failure now. He still has the same problem. He then decided that they should just go to the farmland and do whatever he can. He was thinking of just at least imbuing the soil with nitrogen. A few minutes later, Credo stared at the fully tilted soil with manure. He was even speechless. The dirt is all mixed up. The stink is also filling the area to the point that Assad lost consciousness. Our MC couldn't believe his eyes that the whole farmland is now ready for planting. He wondered what kind of miracle it was. This dumb shit laughed out loud as he saw that Credos was shocked. He exclaimed that it was a success, but his laugh was interrupted when he felt B's presence behind him. Bal casually picked him up and showed him to the Demon Lord. He said that Fur was hiding. Credo knew Fika as one of the bosses from the Cliff of the Dead. He wondered if this guy was there as reinforcement. Credos straightforwardly asked him what Fika was doing there, which startled the demon. He was just about to answer our MCS question but he was already met with a punch. Zephyros questioned the demon, Lord, why he was hitting him before Fur had the chance to answer. Credos enlightened him that it looked like this demon was hiding something. Beating someone up is the most efficient way to deal with that. Fika didn't expect anything less from the demon lord. However, he was firm on not saying anything, and that's when thousands of punches landed onto his face. A few minutes later, our boy was already tired. Fika couldn't even move. A system prompt then showed up. It was the part where Credos could upgrade his stats in exchange with HPS. And since he has 51 horsepower now, he used it to upgrade. The stat that he upgraded was none other than his stamina. Our boy did this just so he could beat FME more. Another thousands of punches landed. Credos really is fit to be the Demon King. First soon, then revealed what he had done and their plans to kill him. In the end, it was revealed to them that Soth was the one who cut off the request for reinforcements. Credos finally gets how Soth gets stronger when more demons are starving. Zephyros commented that this is an act of revolution. He advised Credos that this is his chance if he takes down Saru. The demons who were complaining because of the suspension of the expedition will take it as a warning. For Credos, even if he does that, demons will just keep getting in his way. What he needs is a surefire way to deal with them. On top of that, Zephyros revealed that Soho is difficult to defeat. Credos already knew that Soth has the ability to turn his body like that of a ghost. Even in the game, Soth was all over the place in the Cliff of the Dead, which is already a complicated map. So the entire stage was like a game of hide and seek with him. But Credos already have a solution in mind, just like how he dealt with Sorrow, Thul when playing the game. If it's too hard to kill pests because they hide, then you have to pull the pests out of their nest. Meanwhile, we see Flute staring upwards. It's because she's in front of Assad. This guy was pissed off just by having her presence near him. Flute shyly started making small talk. She bowed her head and thanked Assad for his said sacrifice. It was because of him that they all have food now, and, as expected, thanking a demon for a good deed was a grave insult to them. Assad was angry. He shouted at Flute, daring to mock him. He even vowed to kill her, and that made Flute scared and run away with an intense expression. Assad declared, "You just wait, Credos. The moment I'm free from here, I'll come find you and kill you." But his moment was cut off as he heard demons singing towards him. At a distance, he could see Credos walking with a banner. As things become clearer, the banner says congrats. Second lightning rod in the office, and with them was Fikami tied like a sod. These fuckers were singing songs as if they were welcoming a new member in their workforce. The farming squad is slowly getting more recruits. Assat wondered what the second lightning rod meant. He got teary-eyed when he thought that he'll now be free. I won't have to become a rotisserie chicken all day and night, he thought. But a few moments later, Fur was just placed beside him, and no one dared to remove him from the pole. Credos then started screaming and using his bloodstrike skill. Assat felt completely helpless as he realized that Credos meant that they now have 2 lightning rods. These guys eventually just accepted their fate. All the while, Sarah TH was watching things unfold with his orb. This boss monster screamed at the top of his lungs as his top, aid FME, officially became the new rotisserie chicken. Thank you all for watching. Please watch this next GigaChad video, and I'll see you guys next time. Also, support the channel by joining the My Channel membership. You can also support by just liking the video and being awesome.